'Cause it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. I've been holding it in for too long. Yeah, it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. And I can't pretend anymore. Oh, I'm yours. Never thought I'd even try. After just one day, it's special, yeah. But there is something in your eyes. Ooh, one false move and you'll be gone. You made me, it's alright. I can't tell if it's the right moment, but baby, anyhow, I can't hold it in anymore, no. 'Cause it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. I've been holding it in for too long. Yeah, it's starting to come out. Starting to come out. And I can't pretend anymore. Ooh, I'm yours. Starting to come out. Starting to come out. Starting to come out. Ooh, I'm yours. Starting to come out. Starting to come out.
Hey, so Indies, yeah. Hey, so Indies, hey, yeah. Go and try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that ass be poking out. Them jeans up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up. This the wrong tree, I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name. Pull up and and I'm swerving. If a nigga try to holler, she gon' curve him. We came from under rugs like a Persian. We been staying in our lane, ain't no merging. Wrap a nigga like a motherfucking turban. Yeah, these niggas all square like Irvin. Yeah, we grew up in the hood, no Suburbans. If I say I need my money, then it's urgent. Yeah, they want me to quit. Yeah, they want me to shift. But as long as I'm alive, we gon' keep on making hits. While they steady shooting bricks, man, it's lit. Yeah, it's lit. Me and Dale back to back, and yeah, I'm dishing the assist. Yeah, they talk a lot of shit, but we really with the shits. Lame ass niggas always gonna be reaching for they hit. Smoke a nigga like a clip. They can never catch me slipping. Every time your girl around, she be watch the way I'm dripping. Try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that ass be poking out. Them jeans up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up. This the wrong tree, I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name. I'm in flex mode with the best, though. That's a major key, that's a chess move. I'm your favorite G, I think it's best, yo. Stop with all the grilling, I'm on jet fuel. Taking off, clear the runway, now they cannot clip my wings. Yeah, they soft, they ain't homie, they ain't even on the scene. Play it smart, they don't know me, they just know what they see. What it costs to get flea, but this style ain't free. This that swag, this that splash, one wrong move, that's your ass. Do the dash, keep a stash, just in case they tryna flash. Never lag, we don't slack, tell her eyes running back. I don't brag, I'm relaxed, I'm not into all of that, yeah. It's really just the fam and my dogs. I just gotta make a call. I ain't into all that chatting, not at all. Yeah, I put that on the squad. We been out here going hard. We on deck, please don't make 'em. Go and try your luck, test me in again, we let it rain. Please don't start us up. Got that black and white, that yin and yang. Mr. Officer, please don't search us, we don't got a thing. Tell her park it up, then that ass be poking out. Them jeans up and sparking up. Like the fireworks, I keep the flame. Heard you barking up. This the wrong tree, I got the strings. Yeah, I'm charging up. They can't keep up, got them looking drained. Now they walking up, trying to put the face to the name. Feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that say stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Feel I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up. Look, straight from the mud like Ruby. Straight to the stage, they love me. I understand they hungry, but please don't hate, that's ugly. I've been sliding, shaking, moving. I've been popping in my city. Shawty say she love the way we do it with me. I be too turned up to ever give a fuck. I ain't come to argue, let a nigga fuck. They been talking pennies, I need bigger bucks. About to catch a flight, I need to switch it up. Got that black boy joy, might do my dance on him. Take no disrespect, might put my hands on him. Hit this chicken, now she wanna marry me. But she gon' need some closure and some therapy. Came back to the city with my bank account on F. Giving rappers hell, I know they happy that I left. Hit the south in winter, I just put down my deposit. 82 degrees, I left that jacket in my closet. Feel I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that say stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Feel I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up. Hey, look, came in with the what's that? Left out with the who she? Laying game like 2D. I been kicking shit like Bruce Lee. Margarita to the brim tip. Black denim need a slim fit. Same people that I flex with be the ones that I'm in the gym with. I'm a living legend, you a dead cause, and I'm dead ass. No, I'm dead, right? Leave it early, but I'm here night. Long and short to keep the head right. Teed up out in Malibu, got sand all in my good shoes. Press a nigga with the pessimism, but I only came for the good news. I am the show that they came for. Hitting the target I aim for. We been discussing the contract, just telling they get what they paid for. I am not fucking with poverty. Really, it started to bother me. I need the yacht with the property. They come with the view that you gotta see. Came up from the basement, hit the rooftop with a passion. Bad bitch with some good credit and a good sense for the fashion. Dope blowing with the left hand, ass gripping with the right hand. Uber share to the airport, I'ma hit you back when my flight land. I'm in the mood for a switch up. I hit the function, hit the rose till I hiccup. I hit the stage and leave with money that say stick up. She picture perfect, so I told him I'm a flick up. Feel I'm in the mood for a change up. I leave the city and return with my change up. They got amnesia, don't remember how they played us. They wanna knock me down, but somehow I just stay up.
Going on? What's going on? Come on.
I cannot say what's wrong or right.
No.
It's not hard to fool me. 'Cause I'm addicted to the good life. Yeah.
Welcome back. Let's get it. Let's get it. In the chat room. You know how we do. Age. City. Gender. CIA roll call. Come on. Yeah. Woo! Shucky ducky quack quack. Ooh, ah. Yeah, boy. Let's see who we got. It's not a problem. 'Cause I know what I'm getting into.
Nothing can stop me. Cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way.
Lead the way. I'll follow. You'll follow me. You gonna follow. Come on.
Where we are heading now, babe.
Nothing.
I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your goodbyes. Cause I'll find no better one. Yeah. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies. Before it flies. So tell your goodbyes. Cause I'll find no better one. Susceptible now. Before the moment flies.
You. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. How we doing, people? Shout out to the CIA. One love to the FBI. It's time to get it crack-a-lacking up in this piece. Welcome to another episode of whatever the name of this show is. Late night, after dark, or real deal, Holyfield. I don't know. Shit. I don't feel like wearing the watch right now. So, let's see who we got in here. Hey, you got a navy blue suit? I don't wear blue. Black, gray is what I wear. Black and gray, I dress in a uniform theory. Pinstripes and solids. I do gray pinstripes and I do black or gray solid. But from time to time, I will break out the bird's eye just to mess with people's heads a little bit. Go straight up. That English look. The straight English bird's eye look. So, is it raining out there? It's been kind of crazy today here in Atlanta. And it's going to get even crazier today because, man, oh man, do we have a topic tonight. Here's the thing. I only ask that you guys do one thing. Keep the engagement up over 40%, about 50%. The engagement just means the like to dislike ratio. That's it. That's all I really ask. That means you're paying attention and that it just means you're paying attention. You want to know why I don't wear any blue? Because blue sucks. Blue simply sucks. Blue sucks. It's boring. Blue sucks. It's boring. And I don't have to. I work my way out of corporate America so I don't have to wear corporate blue suits. I wear black suits because I like the formal look. I wear gray suits because gray looks better than blue. Period. Point blank, end of sentence. And guys that wear blue suits, knock yourself out. You get no argument from me. But I know what I do well. Because blue also looks horrible. What are you going to do? Blue with brown shoes? Black, charcoal gray, and gray. Look good with brown shoes. Look good with black shoes. Can dress it up, dress it down. Blue looks, in my opinion, just meh. So anyway, you see the topic, and I said it last week. But here's what, before we get started, I got to ask you guys a question. Well, I got to ask you guys a favor. One thing I notice is when people come over here, they really get excited to watch the videos and the content, engage in the stream and everything. But I'm looking through the numbers and most of you guys aren't subscribed. Half of the people who come over here are not subscribed, yet but you're here all the time. What the French toast, man? So here's what I need you to do right now. I need you to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Because if you're over here and you're watching 2-3 times a week and you're not subscribed, you're stealing. And here's the thing. Why is this all going to become relevant? Well, I want you to understand, to all my high value guys out there, all my high value guys on the way to see, well, one, I need you guys to go ahead and subscribe since you watch the content. Number two, going forward, we're going to start having a multi-track conversation. For the guys who are already high value, that's a small group of guys. But the conversation is going to also start leaning into how they become first generation high value, first gen high value. That's how high value guys are made men. The name of my business, Made Men Image. You're not born into high value man status. So thinking that you can just be born into money and that makes you a high value man, oh no, it doesn't. It just makes you a man with money. Does not make you a high value man. Honestly, there are a lot of trust fund babies and screw ups. Okay. So we're going to have this whole, how do you become a high value man? That's one track. The second track is going to be 2 tracks for the women. One, the women who are between the ages of 18 and 25. If you want to land that high value husband, you need to get on path right now. And this is where I'll start working with women that I trust to help women with their femininity and all that other kind of stuff. I'm not trying to be everything to everybody. 2 sets of women between 18 and mid 30s. The 18 to 25, the ones that want to get on the high value thing to try to land that high value husband, fine. But the bigger group of women is going to be the women over 26 years old. What's going to be left of life? 26 to 40. Because I'm in this country, I realize that not every younger woman is going to want to deal with an older man, even though that's the way you get high value. You don't get high value with young guys. High value starts after 35. Starts at 35, but it really kicks in after 35. So if you're a woman and you realize that, hey, I'm 23 and I don't want to marry a guy in his late 30s, 40s, well, great. This is where the hit squad guys come in, the Henrys, the high earners, not rich yet, in training. The Henrys in training. Those are the group of guys that are age appropriate for a lot of you ladies. But I'm going to tell you right now, those guys are going to be focused. Those guys are going to be focused. 18 to 30, they're going to have their eyes on the prize. So here are the tracks for young men or for the guys who are first generation high value. And that's generally under age 35. Because over age 35, man, you're pretty much who you are. I mean, you can make some adjustments. You can have a high quality life, but generally you're going to have those 20s. See, the 20s are the setup years. And what a man does in his 20s pays dividends the rest of his life. All right. So we all on the same page on that. We're on the same page on that. And here's the thing. It all starts from the subscribers. If I don't see the numbers of subscribers jumping with young men under 35 and with women 35 and under, don't ask for any content. If I don't see the numbers jump in those groups, don't ask for the content for younger viewers. I don't care if you watch. I want you to pay the subscription costs. Let me tell you why it's so important. Yes, watch time minutes and views count, but no, the subscriber number is, a lot of you guys know how this works. It's like, I'll watch the content. I'll even take the advice, but forget him. I'm not going to give him the thing that counts to the bigger system. Yeah, you are. If you want the content, you will. So give me my subscribe now. Run my subscription. Another thing too, because today's title, average looking lazy women, do they want high value men or they just want the lifestyle? Oh, we're going in there. Because what I'm going to tell you is going on in my private group on Facebook, The Mix. you can choose the kind of life you have. You can choose the kind of life you want. You can choose the outcomes by making better choices on who you deal with. So here's a question I asked in my group. Mandatory survey. How has being a part of the mix improved or impacted your mindset or your lifestyle? And the group is roughly about 600 people right now, with an additional 1,200 or so trying to get in. But overall, what most of the men have said is it has really helped me understand how being around high value men are, or being around other driven, ambitious men is. And basically, it helped me focus myself and understand how these guys move, how they walk, how they talk, how they think. And it also let me kind of know where I rank and what I need to do. I need to kick it into gear. But and also from the men I've heard, I also felt like it's also good to know that I'm not alone. Because on Facebook or in a lot of these groups, you tend to hear a bunch of negative or bad or downside. It's good to be around a lot of people who are of similar mindsets, wanting to do the same thing. So I'm making great networking contact and being around beautiful women of the same caliber. But what happened to the women? Oh, the ladies. That is where it really gets in, because now my ladies groups, they're starting to have their own mixers in their own cities. In Houston, there was the mixer this last week where eight or nine of the ladies got together. And I'm telling you, I'm sitting back saying, that's what we need. Men knowing where they rank and what they need to do to get to the next level, and women starting to not hide the value. Later on this week, we're going to talk about, I need you guys to stop hiding value. Because we have had this success shaming stuff going on for too long, to where people who are doing better aren't supposed to show it. Oh no, because for fear of making somebody feel bad. Forget that. Forget that. One person said it made me more aware of my feminine energy. I also introduced her to a great person. That two or three couples in there are dating. And this is just a group I decided to start. Enhance my understanding of feminine power, reminds me the availability of valuable black men. I've met some amazing women in a group, definitely improved my social circle. Look, bottom line, a lot of the ladies are saying, it has given me hope. A lot of the guys in there are saying it's giving me hope. And a lot of the women are saying it's giving me hope. So yeah, and if one person can decide to do this, on top of everything else I'm doing, yeah, that's a good thing. So the mix will grow. The fall mixes are going to start. People are already mixing it up. It's the shit. And you want to be a part of it. If you are truly of this mindset, it is not a democracy. It is a total dictatorship, a benevolent dictatorship, but a dictatorship. It is not a democracy. It is an insiders club. It's the it group. Yep. And just because you get in, don't mean you can stay in. You got to do work. Get right with it. So as we get on into it, thank you for listening to that. How many of you ladies are amazed at how many average looking lazy women walk around talking about they want a man 6 feet tall, 6-figure income, 6-pack abs, with a great smile, a great social circle, so they can have this amazing life. And you looking at her and she looking like a lump of hot mashed potatoes. You sitting there looking at her and she got on this swap meet wig. I'm going there tonight. How many times have you ladies sat back and seen women that you know are average looking at best? And what do we mean by average? 4, 5, and 6. Not an adjustable 6. 4, 5s. We're not even going to talk about 6s. 4s and 5s. See, at least 6 is cute. 4s and 5s. How many? Oh, that's too high. I'm sorry. How many times have you guys seen average looking women? Average looking and lazy. These 40-hour-a-week call center, sitting at the desk, talking crap, ain't exercised since junior high. The last time these women didn't exercise was when they had to exercise in school, when they still had PE. Average. You know, some of them have gone, a lot of them have gone to college. They got average degrees, doing average jobs. They're by no means bosses. So, like I said last week, to the notion that I just think women need to be beautiful and thin and airhead, that's a complete misunderstanding of what I talk about over here. But today we're going to talk about it. See, if a man was average AF, talk about he wants a dime piece, the world would be like, man, if you don't get up out of here, your broke self, you can't get no dime piece. You trying with a 10 piece. What you going to do? You work at Popeyes, you want a dime piece? What do we mean average? I'm talking about average. Average looking. Average build. And sadly, the average has gone up. We're talking about, when I asked that one woman, what do you think the average man weighs? 185, 190 pounds. About the average woman? 150, 155 pounds. She was right in one thing, that the weight differential from the average man and average woman should be about 40 to 50 pounds. That's what it should be. The average weight differential between male and female should be about 40 to 50 pounds, roughly 45 pounds. So if a man is 165 pounds, 165 minus 45 gives you what? 120, the number that people tend to have so many problems with. All right. So if the average man is increased 5 pounds, that means the average woman should have increased only 5 pounds. But you got women who were 160 plus 170 pounds. A lot of guys will be ecstatic if they can find a 150-pound woman. You know how hard it is to find a 150-pound woman today? Oh, man, we got 3,000 people watching. We only got 1,200 likes. Get the likes up. Get them up. That's the final warning. If I don't get my likes where they need to be, you know what happens. You know what happens. If you don't want it, stop that. If you don't want to hear that entire song, you know what to do. So, here's the issue. With average looking women wanting, you average looking lazy. See, that's the part. It's the lazy. See, let's talk about it. Ladies, I understand. Your godfather understands. You are born with the face you're born with. There are only so many things you can actually do facial structure. Now, you can't do much about your face, but you can do something about your body. And this is where lazy comes into place. When you see an average looking woman, she knows in the mirror she's average looking. As no one has ever called her, "Ooh, you are beautiful. You are gorgeous. Oh, you should model." These things have never been said to these women. She is always the third or fourth picked. She's not necessarily the last one picked. When the slow dance comes on, you know, the head cheerleader and the fine girl, she gets picked first. And then Hillary gets picked first. And then Tina gets picked after. Angie is the third one picked. All the Angies get picked afterwards. And the Angies used to know, the Angelas used to understand that, look, I am average looking. I'm not ugly. I'm not homely. I'm average. I am not a beauty. No one is ever, guys are not going to, I am not Helen of Troy. No one's going to fight a war over my face. They have understood this. Fathers have let their daughters know, ooh, you're not a beauty. We need to focus on making sure you are nice, feminine, easy to get along with. We need to make sure that men will give you a shot. We're going there, ladies. But because women can make their own money, kudos to you. Get your own house and all those other kind of things, great. But men still are the same. Men still want attractive women. And while you can't do anything about your face, I'm not going to dwell on it. The laziness, the lazy body. You know what shows a man you're lazy? That wig on your head. That is one of the laziest things modern women are doing. Fellas, tell them about it. Fellas, tell these women what that lace front across your head does. It just tells us you are lazy ass French toast. This woman can't even be bothered to go get some blue grease and put a part in her head and oil her scalp. This woman can't be bothered to go and let the hairstylist make something that'll work for her hair type and her face shape. No, she gonna put on a do-rag and throw on a freaking helmet. No, thank you. Wigs are is so freaking lazy. This is why it was always been a comedy skit. I don't want to do my hair. Take too much work. I'm going to slap a wig on your head. Okay. But it's lazy. So if you're already average looking and you know you don't work out 4 days a week, not 2, 4. We're talking about catching the man. And 4 days a week. If you're not a dress size 6 or below, I'm sorry. That is where it is. I know there are people who are going to want to say, oh, well, this person or that person who's in Hollywood, they're not image consultants. I'll challenge anybody to go head to head with me on the knowledge about this part of it. For sure. The image, no. Stay in your lane. Your body's out of shape. You're going to the factory where you have to wear Spanx and trainers and all kind of stuff to just lie. And then you got the nerve to put a hair trainer on your head. See, a waist trainer on your waist, a wig is a hair trainer for your head. We need to stop calling them wigs, stop calling them lace fronts, start calling them hair trainers. You just heard it today. Your godfather says these are now hair trainers. They're just now hair trainers.
I'm a PhD.
And see, women like that, the last part of being lazy, the higher up they go in economics, the higher up they go in education, the more they go up in income, the lazier a lot of these women get. So the nerve of you average looking lazy women turning around and looking at elite men, high valued men, the best of the best men, or the men on track to becoming that, who have to get up early, work late, and do all the things that goes along with that. And you think you should be able to get one of these high value men. But here's the thing. Have you ever listened to one of these women and say, well, what do you want to do for that man? They don't know these guys. They don't know these men at all. They don't. And here's the thing. None of these women ever come on and talk about, I want to be a helpmeet to him, and I want to help him build his empire, and I want to help him. It's always, I want somebody to build with. What? That is another sign of a lazy woman wanting to build with somebody. I have never met a woman who said, I want somebody to build with, who was worthy of being a high value man's wife. I'm just going to say it right there. Because this whole build thing, it's usually, I want to take your money and your resources and I want to put together with my harebrained schemes and ideas. But look at you. You're lazy. Even if you did find a man who's willing to fund all this, you don't have the drive. Look at you. You can't even get out of the bed to go to the gym. And what it comes down to for this group of women is a bunch of average looking, lazy women who don't want high value men and damn sure don't want high value husbands. They want a high value lifestyle. JR, what do they want? They want a high value lifestyle. What does that mean? They want somebody else's money to sit back on and be lazy. What's going on, AC? They want somebody else's money to sit back here and be lazy on. They don't want to work. Think about it. When AC gets up in the morning and gets out here in Atlanta and making it happen, she getting up at what? He out at 6, 7 o'clock in the morning. She getting up around 10 o'clock. First thing she gonna do is them long ass nails, hit her phone to see who didn't text her, see what's going on Insta, Twitter, or the Facegram, or the U-Book. Shuffle her ass on into the bathroom, sit on the toilet, and do what she got to do. Start texting her other, because you know they text like this because they can't touch it, one of them. Then go in there and hit the little coffee thing. Then by, I give her 9 o'clock, she up. 10 o'clock, maybe she done out to Chick-fil-A and got a biscuit or something. And her whole day, she just sitting back. Nothing to do. Ain't reading the book. Ain't trying to see, how can I help Andre become the man? How can I help my Henry? How can I help my Blue Henry, my Blake Henry, my hit squad? How can I help my high value man, my high hit squad guy? How can I help him take it to the next level so we can do this thing? No, it's, oh, they got a sale over at Macy's. Okay. Entire day is just spent on leisure. How'd that work? Oh, I get it. She had sex with you. That's all she has to do. All she has to do is give you some sex. Now, a man who's working 12, 14, 16 hour days, he ain't trying to come home and blow your back out. He's just trying to up and go. So you don't even have to give him the best. You just got to be like, ooh, ah, ooh, oh, yeah, uh-huh, You think these women are really going for it? And even if he just like, you got it. Why am I painting this picture? Because they're lazy. They're lazy at everything they do, except when it comes to dreaming or making up a wish list about life. Oh, they're not lazy about that. Oh, this is when they apply themselves. These suckers can sit there and complete the Riemann hypothesis when it comes to figuring out the kind of man that they want. Flight Power, you asked one of these lazy, average looking chicks, what's going to happen in the next 1 year, 3 year, 5 year? What kind of plan do you have? What do you got? That's what it is. But then you ask him, so you want to be married? Yeah, I do. What kind of man you want? Well, he need to be 6 feet tall. Actually, he need to be 6'4" because I like to wear heels. He need to be 3% body fat. He needs to have a Johnson down to his knees, and he needs to have this. I want to live here, and I want to drive this. I want to eat that. And let me go on to page 4. And on page 4, you see right here, we need to be able to have enough money so I can do it. By the way, I had a woman actually tell me she wants a man. She wants a man to be able to travel internationally 4 or 5 times a year. I said, ma'am, what job or careers allow a man, what job or career would allow a man to travel 4 or 5 times a year internationally, even for business? Ma'am, what kind of jobs would a man have that would allow him to travel 4 or 5 times internationally for business, and she couldn't think of it. So I'm like, so why do you think, so what kind of job would he have to allow him to travel 4 or 5 times internationally for pleasure? Hold on, let's get close up. I got to get close up on this one. And if you could see the look that that woman gave me, it was like this. The look she gave me was like this. Huh? Yeah. What kind of job would he need to be able to work to travel 4 or 5 times a year internationally? Oh, it just sounded good. We came to Earth real quick. We landed that balloon real quick. Fantasy, delusion. Well, Kevin, I think this sucks. I mean, I like what you say, but sometimes you come over here and I feel like you're killing women's hopes. You're killing women's dreams. Some of the things you say are true, but I feel like you're not giving women hope that an average looking woman could go out there and land a great high value man and secure a great high value man and deal with a great high value man. Okay. But have you ever heard anybody who made that argument who was married to a high value man living this lifestyle? My question to you is, why are you average looking and lazy? Why do you have the nerve? And at this point, I'm got to say, the nerve to think, feel that you should get a high value man. What makes you entitled to get why are you entitled to this lifestyle? Why do you deserve this? What's so special about you that you have where you average? You know, we celebrate A's. We celebrate championships. We don't celebrate 8-8 seasons. We don't celebrate C students. Why are you average looking, average lazy women so dead set on this list, this high value man in your mind? And why do you want him when you don't know anything about these men? You darn sure ain't trying to be their wives. You're not trying to help them achieve what they want. You just want their money. You want their money. And honestly, you don't even want the man. You want the money. You want him out of the way. Can we talk about it, fellas? Ladies, can we talk about it? You don't even want the man around. You want the car, the home, the credit cards, the bank accounts. You want all the stuff that goes along with it except the man. Did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? Did I say that out loud? Uh-oh. Oh, I forgot. After you had sex with him, you're gonna have 2, 3 kids, 3 kids. So you want the kids, but you don't want to raise his children. You want your kids. Notice what I'm talking about. These women don't even want to give their high value husbands legacy. They want children from him. But these children in her mind are not his. They are hers. It's all hers. He's just supposed to come in and provide the money, the lifestyle, and the seed, and then she's supposed to take it. I need you guys to ask yourself a question. At what stage of human development is someone supposed to act like this? At what stage of human development is an individual supposed to just sit there and have to do nothing and be given everything and be able to ask for more and more and more and more and more and more? At what stage of human development is this acceptable? In the chat room, please. In the chat room, please. In the chat room, please. At what stage of human development is this acceptable? Because there is a stage of human development where you're supposed to be able to ask for whatever and do whatever. Thank you. Here we go. Here we go, right here. A child. When you're a child, this is when this is acceptable. This is when it's acceptable to ask for everything. And what would we call a child that got everything they asked for and kept asking for more? Do these children tend to turn out to be paragons of society? Baby, adolescent. What are you talking about, adolescent? You out of your mind? Childhood. So, yes, I just made the link between average looking, lazy women wanting high value men, not for the man, but for the lifestyle, to children. I certainly did. But I'm willing to hear you out. I'm willing to understand. I'm willing to even have the conversation as to why I'm wrong. Why you deserve it. Because I've heard plenty of women who are average and lazy make very good, compelling cases to why they really believe they deserve this. We're going to get into it tonight. We're going to get into it tonight, man. We don't even have my likes up, man. Oh, no, man. So here's what we're going to do. I was about to open the call line, but I don't have my likes up. So, yeah, I'm wrong. I need my likes. All right, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to open this call line up because I really want to hear from you ladies. I do. I want to hear from the women who really feel like these average women. Average, and here's the thing. I give you the credit for being average looking. You can't change the way you look. You cannot change the way you look. But I cannot give you credit in changing the way you act and way you think. You average looking, lazy women who you feel like you should have this high value, successful man to provide you a high value lifestyle, even though you don't know anything about him. Nothing.
Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. hay para emigrar.
Go Tierra.
Money, todo el dinero. Solo un par de gente se lleva el botín entero. Funny, pasa verdadero. Si tienen lo verde siempre llegará primero. Pero llegaremos antes o después. Solo a lo suyo, que Dios te la ve. Que por más que tarde lo veré caer. Somos más lo bueno y tenemos fe. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work. Yo digo las cosas como son. No quiero ninguna aceptación. Tampoco vengo a pedir perdón, porque mis sentimientos se volvieron la canción. Yeah. No me vale mucho como tú me ves. Sabes, tú me llegas solo a los pies. Para mí ser grande es un interés. Ser un buen humano para mí es un deber. El dinero ya lo veré. No vendo mi alma, lo lograré. Seré el más grande, no olvidaré de dónde vengo ni cómo voy. Money work, yeah. El mundo quiere dinero, yeah. Money work, se arregla con dinero, Money work, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Yeah, de corazón. La plata no te hace ser feliz. Money work. El mundo quiere dinero. Yeah. Money work. Se arregla con dinero. Money work.
Luna.
Lunático.
Why does this topic bother so many women? Why does this topic bother so many women? One thing I realized that this subject bothers a lot of women because for the first time, somebody has told them no. In a very direct, logical, sensible way. For the first time, somebody's told a lot of these ladies no. No, you cannot have it all. No, you cannot have it all. And somebody's actually told a lot of you ladies that you are out of your league. For the first time, somebody's told some of you ladies to stay in your lane. Oh, yeah. See, we often will tell men to stay in their lane, but we never want to tell women to stay in their lane. As if women don't have a lane. Oh, you have a lane. It's called your looks. Come on, call back in. You don't have to get on YouTube, but you do need to. You don't have to get on YouTube, but I will need to see. Want to know who I'm talking to? That's the thing. A lot of ladies have never been told. You're not attractive enough. You're not attractive enough. You're not hot enough. You're not smart enough. You're not sexy enough. You're not cultured enough. You're not well read. See, we have not told enough women you're not good enough for a high value man. And that's okay. Your microphone's not connected, sis. We've not told enough women this. Especially in a black community. We've told black women that you're a queen at any size. You're beautiful at any size. Any man would be lucky to have you. This is why we got women who get to be 40 years old and 350 pounds, surprised and shocked that that the men that they want don't want them. And then have the nerve to have attitude. It's average looking, lazy women who have the most attitude. See, pretty women beautiful women, women who are as pretty as possible, they know they got a better sense of the world. Women who are as pretty as it is possible for them, they're more reasonable. The women who I'm talking about tend to be the women who get big and violent. Yeah, big and violent. I said it. Big and violent. That ain't my word. Big and violent. What do you mean? Well, these are the very same women who are used to, as soon as you start telling them, no, man, the world does not, men do not want 200-pound women. What? 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 Yeah, the world does not want 200-pound women. Well, that ain't, what? Why? Because men don't want 200-pound women. But that's not fair. Ain't shit fair about this. And see, these are the same women who get mad at me when I start saying this kind of stuff. But I also say that average women, average looking women who are baby mamas too. This is the biggest group of the baby mama. And this is the biggest group of the I was young and dumb and made a mistake. See, what I'm not saying is it's all shot because you weren't born a beauty queen. It's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is you've messed up. You messed up by allowing yourself to get overweight. You messed up by having a baby. Am I trying to bash or heal women? So first off, everybody look at this person right here. C whoever BNK8. First of all, anybody that comes in and use the words bash, I want everybody to start pointing at a person that comes in and does that. Because bash is just another word that wimps and simps use to stop conversation. You can't use, we don't let people use the word bash over here or shame over here. So everybody look at that person and laugh. We don't allow that over here. Over here, men are held to a standard and women are held to a standard. And it's not, and no one has to be perfect. See, that's another thing. Well, who are you to say all this? Who are you? Who are you? Again, with ad hominems. It ain't about me. What it is, it's about too many of you average looking women are lazy. Too many of you average looking women are lazy. And then you have the nerve to ask for something that you are not. This is what Rebecca Lynn Pope was saying in her video. Women's unrealistic dating standards. You are unrealistic. You're average and lazy. You should be able to get an average man. You're lazy. Good. Then you should get a man who matches you match what you are. And see, this is the problem. When you tell women that you should get a man that matches what you are, they get angry. Why? Because you want an unfair deal. You want to be average and lazy, but yet you want a top level man and expect him to go out and work his ass off and provide and get hamburger helper. No, thank you. This is why so many women resist calling in too. Because when it comes right down to it, they know, damn, what am I going to say to something like that? Call line is open. Monday, I answer questions. So, but you got to ask about the topic. No questions about me. You call it. If you want to call in the show and ask questions, you're more than welcome to. But no asking questions about me, because here's the thing. Especially as these programs and platforms start to grow. A lot of times people will try to invalidate the information by invalidating the person saying it. That doesn't work. So how can you end up having a change in your outcomes? Well, first of all, it's time for a reality check for a lot of women. Ready? What's the reality check? Ladies, you get and you have always gotten a man that in line with your looks. Look at what's in the mirror is what lines up with the kind of man you can attract. I know there are plenty of people who will go out and tell you, well, that's not all that counts. You know, you could be an intelligent woman, an educated woman, a well-read, well-spoken, cultured. You don't see average or ugly women. I don't say ugly, average or unattractive women. You don't traditionally see these women with top level guys. You know, we have no problem telling men where they measure up. Where do you measure up? Where do you rank? Where do you rank as a woman? What kind of weirdo crap is this? Yeah, you're a dude. Do. We have no problem telling men that they're not lining up where they need to be. Now you can't be a guy called into the show in bed. What kind of crap is that? Mm-mm-mm-mm. So here's what we're gonna do. I'm going to allow this to be a call-in show. But here's what's gonna happen. There we go. How are you? Go ahead, unmute yourself, ma'am.
Yes, I'm wonderful. How are you?
I am well. How are you?
I'm
Good.
doing great.
So let's get into it. All right.
Yes,
You
sir.
saw the title of my show.
Yes.
Average looking and lazy women. They want high value men or they just want the high value lifestyle?
Mostly, probably both. I would say for me, my life journey and spiritual journey has been to learn to have more empathy for men, see both sides of the coin. I was raised in a household where my grandmother loved Black men. She was very promiscuous about Black men, but I ended up being the reverse personality because I was around women who had a large empathy and a love and sexual attraction for Black men, mostly like sexual chemistry for them, or what you call
Okay,
an emotional.
I'm not understanding where you're coming down on this point. Are you just kind of
Well,
giving a
basically,
monologue, or what do you think? Am I off on something? Am I make it more simple?
um, basically, I'm trying to give you a view that a lot of women in today's society are victims of abuse. They're
I
victims
don't buy
of
that shit. I don't buy that shit. No, I don't. Nope, I don't buy. I'm sorry, I don't buy that. How old are you?
okay.
How old are you?
I'm 27.
All right, 27. At what age are you an
Okay.
adult?
You are an adult by 18.
So here's the thing: if I bought that bullshit about a bunch of women being abused, then you got to also accept that the men out here are equally as abused. So you can't ask them for nothing.
I agree. I
But
agree.
that's not how the world works, though, man. We hold men accountable.
We people are held accountable for their actions, but like when you kind of understand why they're gender wars, a lot of the millennial generations come from so-called Generation X, the past
I didn't
generations that were
know,
into,
ma'am.
you
Okay,
know, a
okay,
lot
hold
of,
on, hold on. First, can you hear me? Because you can't overtalk me.
yes, sir. Go ahead.
You're 20 what?
I'm 27.
All right. Tell me why. Are we talking about black people? Or are we talking about everybody?
I'm talking about mostly like the wars between, men and
Well,
women,
there's
but
but it's different. Are
speaking
we talking
also
about
from
all men, all women? Or are we talking about black folks? Because those are two different
both.
things.
We're talking about both.
But we got to talk.
We're
But we
talking
got to
about both.
decide what we're going to talk about because this is two different things.
Okay, I'll just stick to my cultural values since that's where I belong. I don't need to speak for anyone else. I should speak for myself. So I'll just talk about black.
Okay. Well, then
Since
then answer me a
that's what you
question.
choose.
Why are okay? Then black people we're the freest you've ever been. But before 1965, we were married at a rate of 80%. But after that, we're married at a rate of 26%. The marital rate has gone down with freedom. But another thing, what's also gone up? Women's weight. Why are so many black women unfit?
Okay, answering your question. You've asked me about 3 different questions,
No,
but I'm gonna answer
actually,
one
no,
of them.
that was my question. Because
Yeah,
because
why
because
are
it
so
comes
many
right
black?
down through it because we asked about black people and got down to that. And when it comes right down to it, man, this gender war, all these other things, men aren't getting what they want, women aren't getting what they want. Granted. But men are just asking for women to be fit and friendly.
Yeah, that's. I mean, let me speak from a perspective that I was raised with, from coming from a mature perspective, from people who actually have to live everyday lives, who don't get to be supermodels, who don't get
You
to
say
be all
from
the extra
a group
things.
of people who don't have to, I need for,
The black women that don't get to be all those things, the ones that have to be doctors, the ones that have to work hard, the ones that have to work like men because they are
I'm
fatherless,
sorry,
ones,
ma'am. I grew up
the
in a single.
women
No,
that
no, ma'am. No, ma'am. See, what you're not going to do is give me some victim story. I grew up in a single parent household.
I'm
No, ma'am.
I
I grew up in a
understand,
single parent household.
but
No,
you
you're not
have
going to talk over
to.
me. I told you that. You're not going to talk over
Okay,
me.
okay, okay. Well, I'm gonna say this.
How much do you? I mean,
When you
okay. Are
look at
you
that,
married?
no, I'm not.
All
I'm
right.
single.
You have any kids?
No, I do not.
All right. How tall are you?
I'm 5'3",
And what dress size?
a size 8,
And how much did you weigh the last time you weighed yourself?
160
Ma'am, you are
pounds.
not a dress size. Ain't see, let me tell you something. Let me stop you right here. Let me go ahead and show you guys this deception. There's so many women who call in my show thinking they can lie to me and tell me what their dress size is. 5'4", 170 pounds equals a size dress 14. You are not a dress
Well,
size, ma'am.
let me
I'm an
ask
image
you this.
consultant. I'm not a
I
fool.
understand, but you're.
No, I said you're not going to talk over me. I can look at you in your face and tell you you're not no dress size 8. Are you kidding me? Over and over and over and over again. All right, guys, we're having technical breakup on here. Now, you ready to not try to talk over me? Because I will say this again. You talk over me, I will mute you. That's a very simple thing for me to do. Can you understand you can unmute yourself. Go ahead and unmute yourself.
Go ahead.
Were you raised by your dad or your mom?
Both.
All right. So I know you can hear me when I speak.
Yes.
Ma'am, I'm an image consultant, a professional stylist. I am well adept at the human body. And you're trying to tell me that you're 5 foot tall, 170 pounds and a dress size 8. See, really what it comes right down to. Here's what it comes down to for a lot of women like yourself. You got a victim narrative that may make sense. Here's the thing. Let's just say I accept it. You're right. All those bad things happen. Whose responsibility is it?
It's a responsibility of myself to recover my own life. I'm held accountable for myself.
Right. The world does not owe you understanding. So how come that previous generations could seem to get all this done who had more traumas, more things going on? I don't get it. Because you're going to tell me that how hard you have to work. I'm sorry. I don't think you picking no cotton. I don't think you're on your hands and knees cleaning no people's homes. So tell me how. I mean, we don't. A lot of folks today ain't missing no meals. So how hard is that?
Well, one thing I will say to answer your question is by giving you an example. Okay, what I've learned by the health accuracy, the health history. The baby boomer generation was
Tell me about
responsible
you,
for
ma'am. I don't want to
the
hear all
fact.
this shit. I want to hear about you.
Okay,
See, when we start all this
okay,
stats and stuff, it can go
okay.
outside of us. What about you? Where's the longest relationship
Uh,
you've ever had?
I haven't had any relationships. I'm just like pretty much any millennial. I've
All
had
right. So
relationships
are you a
online.
virgin?
Yes, I am.
All right. So you're not even qualified to talk about this. You got
Okay.
a lot of knowledge and books, but I would tell you one thing you don't have is
Yes, sir.
you don't have fitness. And you're in the health. You want to
I'm
talk to me
working
about
on it.
health? Why are you not
I'm
exercising?
working on it.
There's no
I'm
working on it. So see, that's
exercising,
bullshit right there. You have no reason to.
sir.
No,
I
sir.
will show
No.
you.
There is no unless you have been shot or had surgery. There's no reason for you to
Okay.
be as big as you are, as young as you
But
are.
see, let me say this.
Do
Everybody
you
is
have a
not
medical
100.
history? Do you have a medical condition?
I had what you call a hypothyroid.
My ex-wife had Graves' disease too. So are you telling me that you're this size because of your thyroid?
No, I'm saying that I
Well,
fluctuate in weight. I have what you call
then
a
no,
hormonal
ma'am, I
disorder,
don't want my ex-wife had
and
Graves'
I
disease. You're
fluctuate.
not gonna talk over me. See, I'm the wrong guy to try to pull this shit with. You are too big and you got too many damn excuses and not enough passes in the gym. This is a game for some of you guys, but I don't have time for it. All right, you guys hear this? Excuses after excuses after excuse after excuse. I ain't never had no relationship. Well, what happened with the baby boomers? Take your ass to Planet Fitness. You think I'm kidding? Okay, y'all think I'm take your ass to Planet? Okay, sure. Right. Nope. Carry your ass to Planet Fitness. No. All right, you're gonna have to unmute yourself. Built-in excuse after built-in excuse. Go ahead and unmute yourself, Sarah. Ma'am. Hello. Do. 3, 2. Hello. You're gonna speak or I'm gonna mute you. No. I can now. No, I muted you, Vortex person, because you think this is a game. I'm not playing with you. You're all in. You're laughing. This is not silly. I mean, it makes more sense now because. Go ahead, Sarah. No, ma'am. No. See, don't start that. You tell me what you have to say on the subject. Don't ask me about me. All right. Well, if you're not going to say something on the subject, we have nothing to talk about. Either you're going to say something on the subject, we have nothing to talk about. That's what I thought. I got no time for you silly people. Go ahead, Renata. Hello? I can. What do you have?
Don't want to hear anything from anybody, not even their own mothers.
Right. You heard the previous caller. Why do you constantly invalidate what women have to say?
It's
Because
it's causing a lot of toxicity, and they're breeding and they're raising bitch made children. Whew,
mm,
it's something has to change, like drastically, because people don't know how to argue their own viewpoint without getting flustered and over emotional. Do you understand what I'm
yeah,
saying?
but what do you
It's
think about that Vortex Star? She just basically said that same thing I was saying. Go ahead. You
but
hold on,
also,
hold on,
can
hold
I
on, hold on, hold on. Go ahead, Miss Vortex.
Well, you're asking questions, and I don't get to finish my statements, which is a lot of issues that I have. And um, I don't want to sound disrespectful, so it's probably just best for you to like vent and get out what you need to say, and then hear my
All right. So
perspective of
now,
why
now,
I have
now we're
my
not gonna play that
stance.
game. See, you're too young and too inexperienced to be trying to match with to me. Talk about venting this and that. Look, you're kind of silly. You're kind of goofy, and that's fine. But this isn't a game for me. I
I
asked you a
understand.
direct question because
Hmm.
you start talking about, women's abuse and this, that, and that's that. What about you?
Like a lot of similarities with women who are overweight. We do have health issues. We have nutrient deficiencies. I do eat vegetables. I eat 3 times a day.
How many
Um,
times a week do you
I
work out?
I work out 5 days a week.
How long have you been doing
Um,
that?
I've been doing that for about 3 months now. three
Okay,
months a total.
but how long have you been overweight?
I've been this way since I've been in the 8th grade. I've had fluctuations with my weight.
And have you been working out since the eighth grade?
Yes, I used to have issues with my weight since 8th grade, and I can give you the name of the gyms
I
I've
mean, I don't
joined. I
know,
used to
man.
work
Here's
in
the
a
thing.
gym.
Then here's the thing. I'm gonna be honest, man. I'm not gonna try to go all into your medical history. But if you had your
Yes, sir.
thyroid, first off, stop watching YouTube in the comment
Yes,
section.
sir. Yes, sir.
Have you had your thyroid removed?
No, it fluctuates up and down. It's
Oh,
most my weight is mostly because of a hormonal, what you call hormonal disorder.
right.
And women who have hormonal
All right.
fluctuations,
So women
what
who
their
have
body
hormonal
does is
fluctuations, what percentage of black women do you think that is?
probably in America, for America, a lot. Probably a lot.
I said what percentage?
I
No,
wouldn't
I
know the
asked you a
percentage.
percentage.
I wouldn't know. I don't
Well,
know.
but no, but
But
you
I know
inject,
that,
you put this into the conversation as a reason. So I'm going to ask you to stand on it.
okay, I don't have the
So why'd
accurate
you inject
number,
it
but I
into the
know you,
conversation?
you asked me a question.
No,
So
I
I'm
asked
trying
a
to give you an
question
answer.
about women in general, and then you injected this whole thing about. See, here's the problem with ladies like you.
Yes, sir.
You have a lot of excuses, and then when
Okay.
you're supposed to be able to say medical reasons, and I'm supposed to just back off and say, well, but I don't, because I had a mate who had Graves' disease, who actually was going to have her thyroid removed, and it is less than 5% of black women who have this condition. What about the other 95% of you who are overweight and obese?
Right. It's about 72%, what according to what I've watched on Channel 11 News. But see, that was like 12 years ago when that number was given.
As we just said, Renata, you see back and forth, back and forth. Oh, a fact, a statistic. Oh, most of us aren't here. Well, let me keep on down the path that it's not our fault. Okay. Let me let you ladies in on the secret. Let me let you in on it good. You can have the world does not owe you, me, anybody understanding. You can walk around with it tattooed on your forehead. I have a medical condition. Men still say no. What you gonna do about it? Tired of you guys with all these, so many women with this built-in. I can't do nothing about it. Okay, then you're where you are. Can't fix it for you. Go ahead, Tina. Mute yourself, please. Hello? You just muted yourself again. Hello? 3, 2, 1. Yes. I can now. Your first name is? What do you have for me, Tina? Oh, how old are you? How old are you? How old are you? Oh yeah, ma'am. You see, that's not where we play this. See, you don't call in and ask questions you're not willing to answer mine. So if you don't want to answer mine, don't ask me. No, bitch, please get on. I don't have time for this stuff. No, 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 no. I get tired of you. Y'all talking crazy. Nope. No, no, no. I'm not gonna play these games with you. See, this is another part of the issue. You think you can call in and be witchy and bitchy, and people are just supposed to take it? No. Do. And I will say the first caller said it correctly. This is the problem. I don't want to. Oh wow! I called her goofy because she is being goofy. All right, go ahead. Go on, Tina. She want a burger. Get a burger. See, no, this is how. No, this is how this is going to go, and you don't have to be here. This is how it's going to go. I just simply asked you how old you are. I don't know you, and no one can see your face. Why is it so hard to answer that question? Okay, well, it does. All right. All right. So here's what I'm starting to realize with a lot of women who call in into this show. And this show has proven one thing. Thank you for the woman who called in and said a lot of women just don't want to hear the truth. You don't hear the truth from nobody. Think about what I've had. Here's an excuse after excuse after excuse. Why are you talking about this? Why does this make any sense? Well, it's because you say you want men of a certain caliber, but you don't want to give them what they want. And we've gotten to a point to where you're not even supposed to. Men aren't supposed to ask for nothing. That's not going to work. That's not going to work. And you can get upset about it all you want to. But I will tell you this. You know what? Let's talk about this. Because when I asked, would you guys like to do the show about the non-black? See, there's a lot of non-black people who watch these shows and watch these places. And when it gets right down to it, I'll talk to black women for just a second. You need to really ask yourself a question. Do you value your men or not? Because black men, for the most part, still want black women. In my personal opinion, even though I can't prove it, I feel like black men want black women more than black women want black men. I hear black men who are more ready to be married than the average black woman. And that's fine when it's only you two. But in this whole open dating marketplace, you may say it don't matter to you right now, but you have a lot of women who are interested in your men. Because black men in this country are different than a lot of other men because we were raised in a community with a bunch of women. Why does that matter? Well, it's easy to say you don't want something when you think ain't nobody else gonna take it. But when somebody takes it and you don't have it anymore and you got no other options, because here's the thing, if you don't want black men, who do you want? Who do you want, and then what are you willing to do to get them? Oh, Big Lovin said she was 135 pounds in high school. Well, there you go. Here we go. Go ahead, Mercer. I can. What do you got for me? Okay, what do you got?
Fat and unfriendly.
No, I didn't say fat, but go ahead.
Overweight. I'm fat,
Okay.
so I don't have a problem with that term. But obese, overweight, haven't always been overweight. But, I'm not going to sit here and make any excuses for that. I live a good life, I make good money, and I enjoy it to the fullest.
Okay.
I can't really say that I understand what a high value man is. I don't know if that is defined by his salary or
Okay.
what.
Well, how about this? Before we do that, my question
hmm
is this: do you want to get married?
No, I have no desire to be married, never have. But if the opportunity presented
So,
itself, and I'm an
so,
older woman, so
so, how old are you?
I'm 46.
All right. So, if you don't want to get married and you have no desire to get married, do you have any children?
I don't.
Okay. So, what if you don't care about if you don't care about marriage, why is this even a concern?
Well, I enjoy listening to the show, and every now and
Okay.
again I run across it.
All
I
right.
think you're very entertaining, and I do care about my community. I think that the people that you're talking about the most are African Americans. Maybe I'm wrong because I'm not a regular listener. I just joined your community today, paid.
But
So,
here's who here I'm a black man,
so
so
it's
there.
not that I don't care.
Well, okay, so let's back it up. How do you have a
Sure.
community if you don't have families and children?
So I can't be a part of community because I'm not married and don't have
Okay, see, you
children.
just how you see that's the problem number one right there. I
Are you
just no
speaking
no
to
ma'am,
me
hold
or
on.
in general?
I need you to hold on. I just asked you a question. All I did was ask you a question, and what was your response?
My response was, can I not be part of
Your
community
response
because I'm
was
not?
rude. You answered a question with a question. Is that
Oh,
polite or
does that make
rude?
you rude?
All
I'm
right, ma'am.
sorry.
See,
No,
here's
I
what we're
think
not gonna do.
that's
You're not gonna
com-
see. You may do that in your life, but you're not gonna do that here. I only ask one thing. I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. But if you can't seem to do this, then there's no need to talk. I will unmute you. Do 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 do. Now, at 46 years old, this should not be hard to do. I simply asked you a question. Would you mind answering my question before you asking me one?
Sure. What was your question?
How do you have a community without families?
Families are part of a community. So you have a community with families and people who are part of families who may not have a spouse or children.
Right. And then
So,
after, so by what you're saying is you can have a community just a bunch of a full of individuals. But after they die, then what happens to community? If no one gets married, no one and they don't have children.
well, if the community or Mother Earth, sure, we have to procreate.
What's my
I
point?
agree.
So my point is you as yourself said, I'm a woman who is not married, does not care to be married, have no children, don't care. But I care about my community. And I said, okay.
Did
But
I
in
say
order
I
to have a
didn't
community, in
care?
order to sustain a community, you have to have families. You cannot sustain it
True.
with individuals. So caring about what
You
happened,
have to have families, or you have to have procreation.
that the family is what raises the kid. Who raises the child?
So I was raised by my mother. I consider that
Well,
a family, and I
well, and
also
that's
knew
part
my
of the problem. And
father.
that's part of the
Was I
problem.
not? Oh, my mother and I weren't a
But
family.
that's part of the. No, see, you can't play that with me, ma'am. I was raised by my mother too, but understand something.
Oh,
See, what you're doing right now, ma'am, is this being constructive? I mean, because again, you got no dog in this fight. If you want to be a single woman, unmarried with no kids, have at it. But you don't build a community, much less a healthy community, with a bunch of single people and bunch of folks just making babies ad hoc. That's what the black community is right now. And if you're 46, I'm 51. Is the black community today better off than it was 40 years ago?
mm, in what way? I think in a lot of ways we are.
All right. So here's what I need you
Yeah.
guys to understand. A simple question: is the black community better off today than it was 40 years ago? And any reasonable person could sit there and say, hell no. We're not better off. We don't even really have communities. We just got black people who live in neighborhoods. And this is part,
Kevin,
and this is
you're from Atlanta, right?
no, I'm not, and it doesn't really matter. We're talking about
Okay, well,
we're
I'm from the
talking we're talking
DMV
about
area.
average. We're talking. This show is about average looking lazy women who want high value men, want the high value lifestyle. You really don't have any dog in this fight as it stands. You don't want a man. You don't want any kids. So I don't
I
know.
said I didn't want a husband,
Well,
and that I
whatever.
didn't really know what your definition
Well,
of a
well,
high
but you
value
but you
man
also never
was.
but you
And
also
so,
you're not gonna talk over me. You also never asked me what it was. I've defined it many different times, but at the end of the day, you don't want. What do you want a man for if you want one at all?
companionship.
Get a dog. Enter exhibit number 2 is the reason black relationships are the way it is. Another fat, disagreeable, argumentative woman who has no dog in the fight, who just wants to argue. But it makes sense. You was raised by your mama, who was the same thing. And see, being born from a single mother is not a death sentence. I know plenty of us, but it's how you choose to go through life. Who thinks this woman went through life in a healthy way, in a way? Who thinks this woman went through life in a way to try to become better than herself? No, you're self-identified, fat, and disagreeable. We're going to call into a show talking about, well, I care about a community. No, you don't. Women like this don't care about a community. They would love to see the shit just fall apart and dance on its ashes. I want women like her over to the side, just like I want guys who are just as toxic over to the side, and let the people who actually want to try to deal with each other deal with each other. If you're confirmed over here and he's confirmed over there, then stay over there. Go get a dog and leave everybody else alone. The community. Out your mind. Mr. Big Stuff. Go ahead, unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. iPhone. Oh, yeah. Unmute yourself. Unmute yourself. Hello? Speak up, please. Yes. I am fine. Your first name? What do you have for me? Oh, okay. But you know they're gonna be mad at you for saying after you lost weight, your dating life got better.
Yeah, I mean, I stand for what I believe in, so it doesn't matter.
Well, here, I appreciate you calling in. I'm gonna get some other folks through the line, but thank you for calling in that. Look, here's the thing. I knew this topic was gonna trigger some folks, but we're gonna end up having to talk about this because why is this important? Why is it important that I title some of these things the way I do? Because honestly, it is getting crazy. The Petro principle says the 80-20 rule. You're familiar with that. And in mating and dating, the 80-20 rule is basically 80 of the women want 20 of the men. Okay? But now it's getting to the point to where 90 of the women want 10 of the men. Now here's the thing. If you're one of those 10 men, life is good. But those 10 men cannot run a world and have those 10 men, and those 9 women don't want to live in a poly relationship with these men. And most of these men don't want harems. So if 70% of the guys or more couple up, that just means you're going to have a large unmarried, unattached group of women. And that's what we have right now. We got everything going to the top. And I'm fine with that, honestly, because my guys, my clients, the guys I talk about, they're always going to be in the top or headed towards the top. What I'm talking to you ladies is you will end up shooting yourself in the foot because you all cannot get one. It's like musical chairs, and there are 5 chairs left, and there are 50 of you ladies. Only 5 can sit down. The other 45 will die. So let's talk about it. In this game of musical chairs, it's not darn I don't get a seat. It's darn I die alone. That's what this game is. It's not darn I don't get a chair. It's darn I die by myself. I was talking to a friend of mine today in Saks Avenue, and she's 57. And I told her, I was like, you know what I'm starting to see? I'm starting to see a lot more guys people between 40 and 60 years old who are just deciding to make arrangements because they know good and damn well the clock is ticking. And they don't have time to be sitting here trying to fall in love and look for a damn soulmate or anything else. It's like, damn, I need somebody who's going to be able to pick me up if I slip and fall. I need somebody who can go. This coronavirus has done a lot. And it's helped people start to realize what's important. My thing is not to try to make every man high value. But men automatically know Either they raise their value to get the kind of woman or access the kind of women they want and take their shot. But it's you ladies who don't seem to get this. You are the ones who are going to die alone. And there's no trick for that. There's no, yeah, but that's where it is. So that woman may sit back and sound strong and powerful and all this other kind of stuff. I don't need no man. You're 46 and fat? Great. Between 45 and 60 is where the health issues start. And here's what we're going to start. All right. We've talked about that. So, truthfully, I try not to really deal with women over a certain age because they're set in their ways. Women over 35 in general are set in their ways. You know, I won't say all, but in general, you're set in your ways and you don't want to hear anything. That's fine. My only thing is I wish, well, they're not going to stop. It's up to the women who are not set in their ways to start talking to the younger women and saying, you don't have to die like this. You don't have to be like this. You don't have to be 46 years old, raised by your baby mama, by a baby mama, and then repeating the cycle and being fat and disagreeable. That's what she said. I didn't call her fat. She called herself fat. I didn't call black women fat. I said 80% are overweight. She said fat. And she came in here ready to argue. Think about that. She came into this show ready to argue for what? So when people ask me well, is this show about bashing women? No. But she came in here ready to do nothing but argue. Because in Generation X, this may sound crazy to you, but a lot of these women, this is what they think conversation is. A lot of older women think this is normal conversation. Normal conversation is loud. It's chaotic. It's disagreeable. That's what gets them riled up, gets their juices flowing. Because they want to do all that and then go to the bedroom and have some loving. This is why you see a lot of women in her age group who leave their man or their relationship because the chemistry's not there, the spark down, because normal is boring. Normal, safe, stable, secure. It's boring. And they need crazy. And I'm sorry, that's not going to happen. Came in here guns a blazing. And to the other young lady that called in, ma'am, when I sit there and look at a woman who's 5 foot tall, as big as you were, with your hair looking like, you look like one of the Little Rascals. Hair all over your head. Let's go there. I'm starting the as pretty as possible movement. If you're a woman and you're trying to be down with this as pretty as possible movement, raise your hand. You don't have to. What did she say? A lot of us weren't born as models. You don't have to be a model, but being a pile of mashed potatoes ain't it either. As pretty as possible. Ladies, you need to be as pretty as possible at all times. Yeah, I said it. As pretty as possible at all times. Don't think about what just happened. Back when the black community had some standards, even when you was poor, when you was poor, one thing your mother, your grandmother would say, my kids leave house, but they're clean. That was one thing that back when you talk about the dirt poor. But one thing black people could control was they couldn't control the quality of the clothing, even the amount of the clothing, but they could control whether or not their children were clean. And if you've ever seen mothers and grandmothers and women in the neighborhood who will wash their kids in borax, they will wash their kids in household products before they would let their kid leave their house dirty because black people had pride. Now we got to the point to where so many of us have no pride. You got our women have no pride. You getting your ass on my camera. I'm sitting here in a suit at 11 o'clock at night, and you in there with your flabby, just bleh, hair all over your head and pigtails. No pride. What's the old saying? A group can rise no higher than the moral position of its women. I'm asking you. You don't have to be average looking and lazy. The average looking part has nothing to do with it. See, back in the day when women were average looking and worked and took care of themselves and had pride, they had husbands. Oh shit, let's go there. Let's go there. You go back in your family album and you'll see some of the most unattractive women. You'll see some of them old hard-faced looking women. But they had Big Daddy or Uncle Albert on their side. I remember my great aunt Irene. She looked like a straight up man. Straight up man. She looked like Big Luther. She scared the shit out of me when I was a little boy. Aunt Irene from the West Coast. That woman looked like a dude. She had the big face and the no neck and the squared off shoulders. You know the guys who had the block? She was just, and then the little bitty legs, and I was like, come over and get Aunt Irene a kiss. No, I would throw a straight fit. No. But Aunt Irene was with Uncle Albert till he died. I know I ain't lying because those women, at least when they left the freaking house, they had some class about themselves. Smelling like Estee Lauder perfume and all them other Avon scents. We didn't have shit. We had less, but we had so much more. So when you get this 46-year-old woman calling in talk about, well, I don't know, it depends on what you talk about. Shut up. Why does this bother me so much? Because we have so many average women who are losing in life because you're dreaming. Just dreaming of Prince Charming and this fantasy life that you will never have. You were never supposed to have. You were never intended to have. And I don't know why, but if the stats are true that black people consume more media and we're easier to market to, look at the fact. You have been marketed to the point to where you're just, I'd rather dream about it than do what you can do. And think about how much effort. They're not, women like that second caller, they're not lazy when it comes to finding excuses for why they're the way they are. Ellie, tell me, how many times? Think about all the excuses she had. This program, that program, this channel, that channel, this book, that book. If you spent that amount of time working out and not being lazy, living in your mama house at 27, still a virgin? See, we talk about male weirdos and losers all the time. They laugh about those guys who live at home in your mama basement with the exposed pipes. But see, we don't really talk about the female weirdos and losers. I'll leave that for another channel because I don't want to punch down, but they exist. They exist and they're not an insignificant number. Why is this important? Because all of these people are out here in this whole dating market. And even back in the day, weirdo chicks like the second caller even would have had a husband, had a man, had something. Last caller, her and her mother. That's good for their bloodline to kind of. Tyler Perry. Tyler Perry done got his billions, right? But I get to be the jerk. I get to be the one that's called asshole for just saying the truth. I'll take it. I'll take it. You are a black woman. No. You're a loser. Nope. You're a black woman. No. You're a loser. Loser. Black women aren't that weak. See, this is one thing I will say that, you know, my mother and my grandmother and my great grandmothers, those women were the strong women. See, those are the women that used to, anyway, forget it. I don't want to go there. Nope. It's not going to do that. I'm a black. How you going to say that? You need your own spot. You need your own place. You need to be able to do something. 27, making excuses. No. If you were a man, you'd be a loser. At 27, I think it's fair to call you a loser. Because at 25, that's when you start calling men losers. Bree, go ahead and unmute yourself. At what age do you think it should be okay to call a woman a loser? Hello? Hello? 3, 2, 1. Hello? Need to unmute yourself. Ladies in the chat room, at what age do you think it should be okay to start calling a woman a loser? Hello? Oh, I'm fine. Go ahead. At what age? Put you back in the chat room. All right. So, at what age? Forget what the men say. At what age do you ladies think it's okay to start classifying another one as a loser? See, as men, we start the line at 25. And what it has to do with, by the age of 25, you should be willing to do what most men are willing to do. You go live in an efficiency apartment that's fully furnished and eat potted meat and sardines and go get a 10-pound bag of fries and survive on potatoes. You should be living in a hovel, but it's yours. That's what walking, riding a bike at 25, but out of your mama house. So that used to be the standard for men. You gonna get out. Because there was a thing called male pride. You needed to get out. Because if you ever did get some woman, you can take her back over to you. And even if she came back, oh, you live here? Oh, yeah, it's your place. Yeah, you can shooing away rats and rodents and flies, but it's yours. And a woman would be like, you ride a bike and you walk and you live up, but it's his place. You ask how many women then went and had Netflix and chill in some old beat up dump. A woman would rather have Netflix and chill in the old beat up dump that's his than in his bedroom in his mama house. Are you out of your freaking mind? But see, women can get away with living with their mamas forever. I gotta stay home, take care of my mama. Be 27, 40 years old. Quoting stats. What about the one stat? Mm-hmm. Oh, we're gonna get into it tonight. We're going Patreon with this one. We're going to get into it tonight. We're going Patreon with this joker. I give 0 now. I give 0s. You start with the women. Start with the women. Get women, and men will get themselves together. Clubs don't have men's night; they have ladies' night. Danielle, unmute yourself. Yeah. Yeah, Be Smooth, it is true. Just because you know one woman who's willing to go to somebody's mama's house don't mean that's the norm. Knock it off. Go ahead. What? What? You shouldn't. You shouldn't do anything. Why are you here? Why? Why are you asking me that question? Why are you trying to get me to validate myself to you? Why are you on my show? No, I don't try to get other women to do anything. So let me go ahead and help you out. Find another place to play the girl games. It's not gonna happen here. See, you ladies gonna have to get something understood and understood real well. The game has changed. It's another day. You can't just ask men to jump through hoops and validate. You don't have to be here. But the whole thing, why should anybody listen to you? You shouldn't. Go wherever it's effective. The better question is, why can't you compete? So you're all right when I ask a man about competing, doing something, but you'll never ask, what you'll never have is a competitive woman asking why. Because they're competitive. You'll have uncompetitive women come by and say, why should someone listen to you? You shouldn't. Go away. No, there's sound. Anybody who comes in and says there's no sound, there's sound. There was no sound from caller. Oh, yeah, there's sound. Mm-hmm. There is definitely sound. Thank you. Go ahead.
I'm a PhD.
Stop saying. If anybody comes in and says no sound again, you're going to end up getting timed out. You guys need to understand that you. Let me see this. So, here's what we're going to do. So, no, I mean, you're not going to call over here and get your own talk silly. Nope. But let me address the caller.
I'm a PhD.
Thank you. Let me address the caller. Let's address this notion. Why should anybody listen to you? Well, outside the fact that I prove what I know every night and have hundreds and hundreds of hours and thousands of hours of content and hundreds of videos. See, the sad part is uncompetitive people will always seek to invalidate the source of contention. That's what it comes down to. It doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman. 2 + 2 is 4. Well, why should anyone believe you? 2 + 2 is 4. Yes, but why should anyone trust that your 2 is the same as anybody else's 2? 2 + 2 is 4. Well, explain to me where you got your mathematics degree. 2 + 2 is 4. Well, why are you qualified to tell me this? 2 + 2 is 4. That's why you don't argue that. You don't argue that. 2 + 2 is 4. But argue. Are you getting 4? See how you deal with this. See, if you guys actually took philosophy or if you've ever taken debate class, you understand that the first person to launch an ad hominem attack loses. You guys should get familiar with Robert's Rules of Order and then debate prep. It's about the facts. It doesn't get personal. But see, in particular, no, I don't want to go down there. When people decide to turn it personal, that's an admission that they've lost. And what they typically try to do is they try to turn it personal and attack you to get you to respond, but I don't do that. I'm going to stay on the 2 + 2 is 4. So to the caller who asks, well, why should anybody? 2 + 2 is 4. Do you agree with 4? Do you see that 4? Is 2 + 2 4? Yes, right. Well, let's talk about that. Well, no, I want to understand why you decide. That's what you do. Brenda, unmute yourself. Raven, why you always come to my chat room trying to thirst trap and get attention? You don't sit your ass down somewhere. Go ahead and unmute. Two plus two is 4. 4 + 4 is 6. Hello? Oh my gosh. You got dogs going on in the background. Yeah, who hurt you? Your mama. Your mama hurt me. What? Can you tell her she can bring back my Nintendo? That's who hurt me. Your mama. Anything else? Your mama hurt me. Can you tell her to bring back my Nintendo? And I left my socks under her bed. Can you make sure she send them back to me? Got anything else? Who hurt you? Dummies. Do 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 do. Do 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 so here's what we do. Here's where we are with this thing. Facts over feelings. If you watch my show, you know I give people a chance to hang themselves. Remember the show I had with what's her name? Janae? That was an hour long, and it was a respectful back and forth. See, that's how you get somewhere. You don't get somewhere by sitting around saying, basically, what far too many women, black women in this particular case, do to black men like myself is, how dare you say something? Who are you to speak against us? That's really what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. Who are you to speak against us? That's it. And when you speak against and that should tell you something. The sad reality, and a lot of black men, we need to gotta accept this, that most black women feel like they're here, and black men are here. And it's not about money. The average black man makes $40,000 in this country. The average white man makes $50,000. Are you telling me that there's a $10,000 gap between the treatment that white men get from white women versus black men get black women? Well, white men have built the world and this and that. Da, da, da. Okay, but then Hispanic men earn less than the average Hispanic man earns less than the average black man, yet he gets treated markedly better. If you have white men who get treated better and men who below you getting treated better, what's the difference? It doesn't really matter the amount of money an average black man makes. You still have a lot of women who think that they're still better than you. And that's fine. You deal with the ones who you can deal with. You know, I don't blame a lot of women for how they got to be there. I understand the media messages. I understand the culture. But what I do fault us all for is we have a choice in how we handle it. Unmute yourself. That's the thing. We have a choice in how we handle it. Either one of you guys need to unmute yourself. Hello. Yes. I can't hear you. Are you in like an empty room or something?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. What is your opinion on people dating like outside of their race? Because I go to a school where it's like majority of the population is white. So a lot of the black girls will go with white men, and the few black men on campus, they don't really have anybody really because
Are you
compared
asking me
to the
what I think about
temperament.
interracial dating?
No, hold on. Compared to the temperament of white men and black men, in my experience, the white men are like more romantic and
Oh,
they're
okay.
more like,
No, no, not no,
yeah.
no, no, no. See,
So what do you
hold
think
on,
about?
hold
I'm
on,
not
hold
trying
on,
to
hold on,
side with
hold on,
anyone.
hold
I'm
on, hold
just
on. No, no,
saying.
no, 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 no. Then now the argument you're making is, yeah, but
No, it's not an
no,
argument.
ma'am, you
That's their
cannot talk over
opinion.
me. That won't work. It's still coming with even the best of black men, the best, so the white man's ice is colder. That's ultimately what you're saying. That even the high value black men, high value white men are still better.
No, I said their temperament is nicer. Like they're more romantic with women, in my experience, than the black men. So isn't that a reason why black women may be more like
Okay,
less
here's the problem
respectful
I'm
of black
having, ma'am.
men?
I'm having a problem with you. I don't know if you're on Bluetooth or whatever, but one, you're
Oh, I'm
monotone,
sorry.
and two, I can't understand what you're saying. Please make the question simple.
Do you think that black men are given less respect from black women because they're not as romantic or sentimental as the white men usually are?
Do I think that black men are given less respect than white men because black because white men are more sentimental than black men?
Yeah, like they're more romantic, they're more
Okay,
sensitive, so they
so
attract
you
more
tell
women.
me, and where are you seeing these romantic, sentimental white men?
At my school, like when
Oh,
I make the
how old are you?
comparison, I'm 21.
21. Okay, I need you to go ahead and
Yeah.
tell me the white versions of Mint Condition, the Isley Brothers, Earth, Wind and Fire, Luther Vandross, Keith Washington, and the list goes on. Just because you live in a
Right.
bubble and want to say that white men are more romantic, I reject that. We don't go to their
I
culture for
never said that. I said this is what I
hold on. No,
noticed.
no, no, no. I'll accept that that may be what you think, but
Okay, so you don't think that's
I don't think you get when I said you cannot overtalk me. Get off of Bluetooth. Please get off of speaker so there's not a delay. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, there's a problem with our connection. So here's the thing. You're 21, right?
Yeah.
Do you have a boyfriend?
I broke up with him
Do you have a
recently.
boyfriend?
No, not right now.
All right. So have you ever
Hmm.
have you had a boyfriend?
Yes, I have in college.
All right. All right. Well, we're gonna have to let you go because your background is horrible.
No, I'm sorry. You hear me?
Well, I'm tired of having to keep asking you about this. So, but no, I don't
I'm
think the black
sorry.
men are given less respect because white men are more romantic or affectionate. That's your opinion. That's fine. But and no, I just laugh at it because since we want to go there, white women who date black men will often tell you black men are far more. Oh, y'all really want to have this conversation? Because I don't think a lot of black women really want to have this conversation about interracial dating because you might be mad at the results. I'll just put it to you that way. You might be a little upset with the results. But romance? But then she's young too. She's young too. And this 21, I will say this generation of all races, no one's dating. But she makes if she'd have stopped, her point is, do you think instead of just saying why do black men get less respect than white men at the same at a similar economic levels, that would have been a better question other than inferring the reason that black men get less respect than their white counterparts is because of a deficiency in black men. So that's always the problem. That's always the question. It's never that a black man is here and a white man is here. And do they get mirrored respect? It's always that a black man is here and a white man is here, but there's still something deficient about the black man. See, that's a problem. That mindset is pervasive in far too many of our women. There's always they will find something about the black man. Yeah, he's a high value black man, but there's still a problem with him. I.e., the white man's ice is colder. You guys get that? It's always going to be a problem. So never sit back and get caught up in trying to justify or defend yourself. Well, no. I'm just as romantic as a white guy. I'm actually more romantic than a white guy. Let me rush to put my cape on. No, you don't do that, guys. What you do is you say, fine, go get Brad. Go get Brad, knock yourself out. But I'm going to go on over here and do what I'm doing. And then when she find out that Brad don't want her either, Brad ain't trying to hear, and then she come knocking me, hey, big head. Oh, no, I thought Brad was good. How many times have we seen this crap? Continue to try to get black men to justify themselves and try to keep up. Black men aren't trying to do that mess. Nope. No. That's what wasn't that the whole swirl movement and all that other kind of stuff? No, black men are just fine at what we do. Not behind or. Ain't that the same thing? Where's Waldo? Where are you at? See? See how that works, bro? Even when you're right, you're still wrong. Unmute yourself. Hello? Hello? 3, 2. Bye, Michelle. Michelle, my belle. Something, bonte, bueno, tum. Michelle, you can either speak or you gotta go. One last time, unmute and either speak or go. Bye. All right, she's out of here. So, what did we learn tonight? what we learned is something that I think is pretty simple. That I'm still not hearing. What do we hear? That when something's wrong with the average women, it's never their fault. Something in the water. Or I don't need no man, but I still want to talk about y'all. That's the one that's going to stand out most to you, because why are you 46 years old, not married, no kids, and you over here, trying to figure out what high value man this is? Why is that even a concern? Because a lot of these women say they don't need no man, but yeah, you do. You do. And that's just like an admission of guilt or defeat for a lot of women. I can't say that. Okay. But the whole notion that men are going to have to continue to prove themselves. That's why I stick to the guys I stick to. The guys who are putting in the work, doing what they're supposed to. They don't have to prove themselves to you, ladies, because the proof is other women want them. You don't want the men of your group, but other women want them. You think they're going to jump through hoops to prove themselves to you when they're wanted by other women? What the final leap is finally, these guys are saying, forget it. When I'm ready to find a wife or a girlfriend, I'm going to pick from the best woman that's available to me. I prefer it to be my preference, but if it's not, I will pick from over here, versus having to continue to jump through hoops to prove themselves to somebody you can never make happy. That's not going to work. It's not going to work, not going to work, not going to work. So at the end of the day, average looking, lazy women, do they want high value men? No. I think we can pretty much say I've yet to hear any of them talk about how they want high value men. They want a lifestyle. They want a lifestyle on somebody else's dime. And that's fine. Good luck trying to find that. Wednesday, I'm going to have a guest on. Dr. T is going to be on. Have an actual doctor, female doctor coming in on Wednesday. And we're going to talk about this whole thing about hiding value. Talking about men, younger men who are first generation high value, men who are creating themselves, making themselves the men they want to be, and the women who want those men. Women 18 to 25 who want those men, and then what to do for women 26 to 37. Because life is not over until you decide to become that 46-year-old, I don't need, then it's over. Tomorrow night, though, is going to be an interesting show. Tomorrow night, we're going to talk about tricking. Oh, hoes. Let me go ahead and help you, dude. Oh, hoes and tricks. Oh, hoes and tricks. Some of you dudes need to kind of get oh, hoes and tricks. Because one of the things I find interesting in this conversation is there's been a group of men who are not competitive. Who are men who are not competitive, who want to sit around and talk about men who whoop their ass across the board. But I always want to sit back and call somebody a trick. You're a trick. You're a trick. You're a trick. You're tricking. I've actually heard men saying that a man paying for something for his wife and kids is tricking. Oh, we're going to call out. See, when I said it the other day, no, fool, it's not tricking, it's called an expense account. There are some guys out here who honestly believe that if you spend anything on a woman, it's tricking. And that's fine. You need to go on over there, though. Go on over there to the kiddie table. Because you, in my opinion, sound just as crazy as the women over here who want a bad deal, who want to be average and want a high value man. See, in this whole, if you think of relationships as as a game, somebody has to lose. If you look at relationship as a game, there's a winner and a loser. So I think you go into it in bad faith. But we're going to talk about it because especially this is going to be a family conversation because I don't hear this with non-black people. I don't hear people talking about tricking who ain't black. There's a lot of success shaming that goes on with black folk. Like you all said, oh, you over there spending money, you tricking, you gotta spend money. We're gonna tear that apart. Oh my God, I'm gonna have so much fun on that one. And I can tell you right now, it's gonna be a bunch of angry men. A bunch of angry guys. I ain't gonna call them a bunch of angry guys. Bunch of angry guys. We're gonna talk about it all. Hizzos and tricks. The whole thing and this whole dating thing. Oh yeah. Can't wait for this one. Cause I'm really I'm laughing at some of you guys that you think this is supposed to really go down this way. Some of you guys really think Some of you guys really think this is supposed to go down as you're supposed to be able to get a dime piece for nothing. You're supposed to be able to get a woman's prime years, her beauty, access to her body and her womb for just your mouthpiece. Woo! All right, let me get up out of here, man. We're starting to lag and have issues. It's getting late. The show went a little long. Thanks to the caller. I mean, I appreciate the people who called in. Thank you. But I'm just not gonna have back and forth arguments with people about silly stuff. If you want to call in and ask me why should somebody listen to me when you're listening to me, think about it. All right, man. Until next time, we got to get up out of here. I'll see what happened. The system's too high. I need to go give me an iPad tomorrow, man. I need to get an iPad. All right, people. Thanks for calling in. It's been fun. This week is going to be a week of shows. Until next time, peace. We're gone. Crisp mouthpiece. Man, I'm a professional salesperson. I challenge anybody with this crisp mouthpiece shit. My mouth makes me money. I am going to rip this shit to shreds. I cannot wait for this show. Thank you, Jesus.
I cannot say